My first lesson, which is, encrypted in my DNA now, was the idea of working for, pay. And my first job was in high school, and I got it specifically because there was a girl in my grade that I was really interested in, and she got a job at the shoe store in the mall, and I was able to get a job across in the ice cream parlor. And my plan was, when the mall closed down, we could go out, and hang out together, which was a good plan. First day on the job, I'll never forget it. She was in the window putting in the shoes there. It's a small mall. And I was in this ice cream store scooping ice cream. And when people ask you for a sampler, but what happens when that occurs, when people do samples, they take their gum out of their mouth and they throw it on the floor. So all day long, gum was piling up on the floor. So the first day is over, and she said, you did a great job. You sold $4,000 of ice cream, whatever it was. But now you've got to finish up, and you've got to take all the gum off the floor. Now, at that moment, the girl I was interested in was looking at me, waiting to see when I was going to walk out of the store. And I realized if I get down on my knees and scrape gum, I'm in trouble here. This is not a good look. I said to her, look, you hired me as a scooper, not a scraper. And she said, no, I hired you as an employee. You do whatever I say. I own this store. Whatever I say, you're going to do. And I said, I don't think so. If you want to hire somebody to take gum off the floor, that's a different job. If I'd known that, I probably wouldn't take this position. She said, how about this? You're fired. And I went, whoa, what's that mean? And she said, it means you get back on your bicycle, go home, don't come back here. I'll send you for your today's pay. And I was so humiliated when I got home and explained that to my mother. She said, you should have done what she asked. And I realized right then, and this is the important lesson, this is one of those pivotal moments. In life, there's two types of people. There's the people that own the store, and there's the people that scrape the shit off the floor. And you have to decide, which one are you? I'm not saying it's bad to be an employee, but she taught me such an important lesson. The humiliation of not controlling your own destiny is evident in that story, because that's the way I read it. I thought, this is horrible. Whatever she says I have to do, I'm not going to live my life that way. I never worked another day in my life for somebody, ever again. Now, decades later, I can afford to bulldoze the whole mall if I want, and I go back there to meet her because I wanted to thank her for that moment for me, that amazing moment where she just reset my whole dial, all my DNA. I just didn't want to scrape stuff off the floor, ever. I wanted to own the store, and I couldn't find her. The store was gone. I hired somebody to find her because I wanted to thank her and help her out for making that moment happen to me. But there's a story that tells you a defining moment for one random person deciding what path they were going to take. Entrepreneurship for me, I've never looked back. I could probably buy a whole bunch of malls now if I wanted. It's not that important today as it was back then, but that's what happened. I mean, I tell entrepreneurs today, and I invest in so many of them, when I say to them, look, you're starting this journey, I want you to understand something. This is not going to be fun all the time. You're going to work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, because there's some guy in Mumbai or Shanghai that's going to kick your ass if you don't.
And it's forever.
And it's forever. Yeah. But what will happen if you're successful, and you won't see it coming, you'll wake up one day and say, oh my goodness, I'm wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. You'll probably go right back to work, but the point is you created something of tremendous value, and the way it manifests itself to you later in life is it gives you freedom to do whatever you want. My number one message to entrepreneurs, and I teach today, is never pursue entrepreneurship for the greed of money. It has nothing to do with it at all. The whole reason to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. That's why you do it. You do it because you want to be free one day to do whatever you like. I'm here because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I don't even have to ever listen to a phone call again if I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I enjoy spending my time doing the things that I want to do. And I deserve it because I worked like hell to get here. When people say you don't deserve that, I say bullshit. I deserve everything because I started with this. Everything I have, I created myself, and I deserve what I have. And I feel ferociously about that. And I tell other entrepreneurs, do not be embarrassed about success. Wear it, own it. It's yours and you deserve it. When I was in my final months of getting my business master's, my MBA, in that class of maybe 160 cohort, that was at that size, we thought we were such hot shit. I mean, you're finishing and you know everything and you're ready to go and just take on the world. And in comes this guy and he says, he looks up, he was a guest lecturer. But usually a guest lecturer, gets some slides up or starts talking about a presentation about the company they work for. He was different. He walked in, no slides, no PowerPoint, nothing. He just walked around and looked at all of us and he said, "You guys think you're so damn good, don't you? Well, when you walk out of here, the real world is going to kick the living shit out of you, and you won't know what hit you. It'll be brutal. About a third of you will be a complete failure. Another third will be spinning their wheels a decade from now, and the other third will be phenomenal successes. Too bad about the other two-thirds, but I'm just telling you the truth." And I looked down at him and I thought, what an asshole. What he claimed in that presentation was that experience is very important in life, and that in fact intuition is just experience distilled. The longer you're at something, the better your intuition is about businesses and people. And I thought, what a load of crap. I'm that guy walking in those MBA classes at Harvard and MIT, looking at them and saying, you know nothing, and the real world's going to kick the living shit out of you, and I can't believe this has happened to me. But he was absolutely right. And so today, with all of the experiences I've had, all the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all of the horrible things that have happened in the businesses I've invested in, and all the euphoric ones and the amazing outcomes, that experience is distilled to intuition. I can sit in a room with somebody for 15 minutes and know if I've got a winner or not. And 99% of the time, I'm right. So I listen to the gut. I know it's going to work or it isn't. I just know. I'm that good. The only way to get to where I am today is having spent 30 years doing it. It's the only way you can do it. You need the experience that the road traveled gives you. But you start to ask yourself, the real benefit of having it is that you map out next week. I know what I'm doing next week. The schedule fills up, things get booked. I look at it on the calendar and I call back to the people that coordinate my week and the places I'm going to be in. And I say, why am I going to be in Mumbai next week? And they say, well, you're meeting with so-and-so for this deal or that deal. And if I don't want to be in Zurich, I don't have to go to Zurich.
Yeah, that's the luxury of having the...
Right, and I just say, I'm not going to Zurich, I've changed my mind. And to me, that's the 99% of why it's great to have your own financial independence, because that goes right back to the store when you're scraping the gum off the floor. There's nobody telling you you have to be in Zurich. That is why it's worth it, because that's a form of freedom that you can't get any other way. Because it's very easy to stay in that world where somebody is mitigating your risk. You just have to perform certain tasks, do them well for a third of your day, and they will feed you a salary. A salary is the drug they give you when they want you to forget about your dreams.